What's going on, guys? Bladezilla here, and today we're taking a look at a new one from Heretic Knives, or Heretic, whatever you want to call it. Pretty excited to open this guy, take a look at it. I will show this here. The camera can even go that close. Pariah Manual, drop point, stonewash, white camo carbon. I've got a bunch of these coming in some different configurations, and figured I'd do a quick video on it because I'm really excited. So this is how they come. Nice cool box that opens up, and the knife itself. And I think there's some stuff under here. Sales and service, call, blah blah blah, whatever. Cool. So nice little box. It's kind of cool. Put that to the side. But this is where the money's at. Very, very cool. Carbon fiber. Got a button lock on here. It's got a pretty unique little pivot, which I believe still looks like it uses like T25 in the middle, which is a nice touch. Fully milled on the back, carbon fiber. Nicely done. Really cool. Before I get started, just remember this is a casual conversation, and you know, this isn't full of amazing specs and details. It's just two guys having a chat, talking blades. As also a reminder, visit bladezilla.ca, which is my website. A lot of the nice features on this channel are available to purchase in the store. So there you go. Just added a Zon Lefty and some new amphibians and some cool new colorways. So there you go. And then soon, hopefully this, when you're seeing this, I should have some more of these guys in the store. And ooh, look at that change in the carbon. Yeah, pretty cool. So this is the first one I've seen of the first batch I got in here. So let's take a look. Weight-wise, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's weigh it, and then we'll get some measurements because so close I am. It's got to be in the four-ish range. So let's do that. Here we go. Actually, hold on. There we go. 4.9, so a little higher than expected. But it is big. That's what she said. Sorry. There we go. 4.9. Okay. So fairly heavy considering, but considering it's carbon, I was expecting it to be a little less. But it is a massive blade stock, like very thick. Look at this thing. Like if I grab a Sebenza, look at the difference. Okay, that's a large Sebenza, just to give you the idea. Like it's a very thick, beastly blade. Let's see, so we can thumb flick it, or we can reverse flick it. Preference to the reverse flick on this. That's nice and smooth, quiet, very subtle. Nice little snap to it, and then the button lock, as you can see, just disengages. Very cool. And obviously you can just open it as well with that button. Nice pulled detent in there. That's nice. Real cool. This guy's Magna Cut, and is it written on here? I believe we've got it right here on the blade. Magna Cut. I don't know what hardness rating they've heat treated this to, but I imagine at this point people know what the best thing to do is. We've got a nice kind of drop point with a tip, kind of a bit of a spear, a bit of a hook on it. You can hold it very nice in your palm. You can hold actually the jimping right back. So if you've got a medium hand, this one will work with you. And then you can choke up on it and get right up to the tip if you want to. Reel quite easily as well. It definitely feels like it's weighted more front than anything. Like, oh yeah, it's falling forward from the center, which is fine. And perhaps the aluminum version of this might have a bit of a different balance to it. We'll find out. I'll get some more of those in. I kind of want to know how this button system works. Because as far as I can tell inside this, there's not much going on. Unless you're seeing things I'm not. It doesn't appear to be skeletonized in any way. It's just kind of two halves pushed together, screwed together, right? And then you can see, as you kind of go down the seam there, you can see that it's absolutely pushed together and then probably machined. On the flip side here, we've got a real nice pocket clip. A little ball on the top, kind of rides down the frame. We've got some east to west inlays as well on both sides. If it wants to focus, maybe I can actually show that. Looks real nice, and then it's attached using probably T8s on the Torx. And just on the non-show side, or no, we got another one in the back here as well. And then we do have a lanyard hole. I'm going to see if the blade kind of covers that up or gets in the way. Nope, nothing in the way there. Perfect. Just super solid. This feels phenomenally well made. Let's check the centering. Right on line with that seam, which is all you want to see. This feels really well made. It feels very burly. A lot of the weight's in the blade itself. The clip looks like it's kind of got a bead blast or a vapor blast on it. And actually up on the top you can see some nice kind of milling lines. If you're in 4K, hopefully you can see some of that stuff, but it's all milled up top, which is nice. The edges of the carbon aren't rounded, which is probably part of the design. So, you know, they're just, I shouldn't say they're not rounded. They're not beveled. So, you know, they are rounded, so it's not sharp or anything, which is nice. The carbon feels very raw to me, so it's very it's not glossy in any way, so it's a very flat feel to it, very grippy. No gloss. And on the front here, where you would kind of go to, I guess, get your thumb in and flick it open, you can see that's actually, there's a cutout that's kind of cut into the side here. I don't know if you're going to see it with a side profile, maybe this way. It's cut out right here where my finger is, and it makes it just so you can kind of get in there and flick it with your thumb. And nice detent, like just really smooth and controlled. It's got to be running on some kind of bearings. And then gap control wise, you can see there's some inside there. Not bad considering, and maybe I could just tighten it up and get rid of it. I'm not going to do that. Very good. Very good for my first taste of this brand. And they're at a price point, they're not crazy. I think they're in the 4 to 5 range, which is, you know, less than Chris Reeve's money for MagnaCut and carbon fiber. With a nice big cutout to reverse flick with a button. I think these are going to be really popular. They're just really cool. Burly knife. It's probably the thickest MagnaCut blade that I've seen. I'm just trying to think if I've seen anything other in MagnaCut that's this big. So I'm kind of curious to see how MagnaCut does on a knife like this. Because like anything, right, there's certain steels for geometry of a blade that make more sense given what that steel does. So, you know, that it's really, really thick, heavy stock on MagnaCut. I'm curious to see the performance of it. And they are all serial numbered as well, up on the top there, which is cool. Let's take a look at the stonewash on here. Stonewash looks like it's right up onto the flats as well, which is nice because you're going to use it to cut. I'm just really impressed with the overall vibe of this one. Fit in hand is really comfortable. You know, looking at a knife with this kind of heavy stock, it looks like an integral. I wasn't sure what to expect. Take a look at the reverse grip. Absolutely, almost more comfortable in the reverse grip on this. Honest to God. Your fingers fall right in front or behind that pivot. That is quite comfortable. And you've got the jimping back by the clip. That's quite comfortable. Almost more comfortable in the reverse. That's funny. Very comfortable overall. Let's take a look at that grind. Appears to be quite nice. Really nice. And once again, both sides have the Torx on it, so you can kind of take that apart and play with it. But I'd love to know how this button lock works. See the cutouts there? So that's what holds it. See that cut right into the blade. Always love to see how these new designs work. Really, really cool. I think this is a looker. This is a great looking knife. It hits the price point that it needs to. I don't know much about this other than it's a smaller knife company. I think, I don't know, but I think they're, I think these guys are made in the US. Could be wrong, but it's MagnaCut and they're individually numbered and, you know, USA written right on it, so let's be honest. I'm assuming it's USA made. Really nice, really comfortable geometry. I don't know if I've had a knife that's as comfortable in reverse as it is forward. That's the one takeaway I have. You know, no internal skeletonization of the carbon, which like you don't need to on this design. And then in terms of the widths of the blade steel, I always like to look at this, right? You compare the width of the handles to the blade, and they look about the same. Which is kind of what you want. It's just a sign of I don't know, it's just your eye-like symmetry. Now, I think I've got some of these coming in as well in without the button lock. I think they're either a frame or they have some kind of a lock bar, so I'd be curious to see that. I may do a video on one of those just to kind of see. I haven't seen a bunch of videos out there on this yet anyway. That could change at a moment's notice. But also, I guess, you know, another real cool thing here is like there's a lot of grip found on that actual button as well. I didn't really notice my finger didn't slide off it or anything like that. I know on some of the Pro-Techs, it's a very smooth button, whereas this, it's got a little rough to it, which is nice. The reverse flick is my favorite part of this knife. Nice and heavy weight. You know, I keep telling myself to not do that. I don't know why I'm so used to that. Probably the sheer Gorp background. Let's get some size comparisons here while I have a couple things out. We'll grab my Hattie. There you go. And then we'll grab, where's that Reeves I just had there? My large Sabenza for comparison. So it's a big knife, right? You can just see in the handle. Right? It's a big knife. Grimsmo Norseman, which is not really a fair comparison. That's not even a knife I'd even bother comparing it with. Where's a hinder? Here's the clips. There we go. Bigger than a clips. My boy, the Pyrenees from Stang. Even feels small by comparison. Not much smaller, but also MagnaCut. And just look at the difference in stock on these. Stang's not a small knife. And look at the difference. It's massive. I'll compare it to the hinder as well. Let's take a look here. Hinder is nice and thick too. But this surpasses it. It's a big boy. It's not making friends at the playground. Let's put that guy away. So very big, very in control. But you know what? After I filmed recently the T6000 video, this feels like a delicate toy compared to the T6000. Had a handful of those come through, and my goodness, anything feels dainty now because this is half the weight of that. So if you can, if you can EDC a T6000, you can, or 1000 even, you can pretty much EDC anything. And this is definitely, it's a big knife in that, just say 5 ounces or less, but it doesn't feel like it. Like it's got a real heavy blade, nice smooth bearings, good size, fits nicely. I've got really no issues with it. Just comfortable. I think these are going to do great. I'd be curious to get a little more flavor of their lineup, which I've got coming, to me now, any day. So this was the first little release that I got, but I'm kind of curious to see some of the others. So I'll keep you guys privy on that, but I think first taste of this is quite well made. Really good use of the carbon fiber. I like the east to west lines. The pivot is always really cool to kind of get some uniqueness there. The grip on the button is done well, but just the overall feel of the handle, it's very rough. It's not glossy, it's grippy. And normally with carbon fiber, that's not what it is. It's normally very slippery, and you know, you've got to kind of cut into it to get grip, and this already has it. So really well done, and the light hits it, bounces all over the place. Clip looks good. Good in hand. I think we've got a nice knife here. At a really good price point. Made in US, MagnaCut. Real nice. Cool. Alright guys, well that will be it. That is the, what is it, Heretic Pariah manual. Drop point stonewash, white camo, carbon, I think is what it was, in MagnaCut. So pretty cool. Alright guys, have yourselves a fantastic week, and if you have any questions, leave them below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, or why not just subscribe to me on YouTube? I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. Alright, later guys. Peace.